Good day, Lakeway friends and family. Pastor Mike here with a little bit of midweek motivation for my fellow sojourners on this journey of transformation. For the past few weeks, I've been encouraging you to stay on the journey. But today I'm going to take a different tack. I'm going to challenge you. So I have a question for you. Are you up for the challenge? We're about midway through our Transformed campaign, and this is the point where if you're truly committed to being transformed, it's probably getting to be a little bit tough. But that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. Let me explain. Henry Blackaby, in his book Experiencing God, makes this statement. He says, you cannot stay the way you are and go with God. In other words, if you choose to follow God, you will be changed. And that's what transformation is all about. It's choosing to follow God. And in that book, Blackaby talks about 7 realities in this choice to follow God. First one is that God is always at work around you. Somewhere around you, God is working. Second, God pursues a continuing love relationship with you. And it is real and it is personal. He loves you and He's coming for you. Number 3, God invites you to become involved with Him. He invites you into this journey. Number 4, God speaks by the Holy Spirit through the Bible, prayer, circumstances, in the church to reveal Himself, His purposes, and His ways. Number 5, this is one I want to talk about today. God's invitation for you to work with Him always leads you to a crisis of belief that requires faith and action. Number 6, you must make major adjustments in your life to join God in what He's doing. And number 7, you come to know God by experience as you obey Him and as He accomplishes His work through you. But I want to focus in on that number 5. God's invitation for you to work with Him always leads you to a crisis of belief that requires faith and action. In other words, if we are to be transformed, we will come to a place where we have to make a choice. And it's a choice that will require us to have faith and actually do something. Now, whenever you've got a choice, you have options. And I see 3 options here. We can choose to go back the way we came and remain the same. That's stagnation. We can choose a path other than God's way. And Satan, the world, our flesh will always provide one. That is temptation. Or we can choose to go God's way. And that is transformation. Now, out of those 3 choices, just being honest, 2 of them are easy and one's a challenge. I mean, let's tell the truth. It's easy to slip into temptation. It's easy to stay as you are. Even if you don't want to stay as you are, it's still easy to do it. And number 3, going God's way, that's a challenge because it brings us to that point of crisis that demands action and faith. So I want to offer up to you 3 simple steps, 3 steps to help take that challenge and make the right choice. Step number 1, consider the outcome of each of those options. Stagnation, temptation, transformation. Stagnation. Do you really want to stay the way you are? I can answer for you. No, you don't. You might be a good person. You may be a really nice person, and who you are is not bad. But if you're following God, He is all about continuing and finishing the work He has begun in you. And if you're watching this and seeking transformation, you already decided that you want to change. So stagnation is not an option. Temptation. While we might gain some temporary satisfaction, I talk about this all the time, it only creates an itch that you can't satisfy. And we all know that. And we know the harm that it does to us emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and it harms those around us. So that's not an option either. Temptation. Transformation. Going God's way. Even though it might be challenging, it might take us out of our comfort zone, what's not to like about this one? The fruit of the Spirit? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. Heaven? What's not to love about going God's way? It might be a challenge, but for me, that's the obvious one. So step 1, look at the outcomes, the consequences. Step 2, consider your goals. Where do you want to be spiritually, emotionally, and physically in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years? Will stagnation get you there? Nope. Will temptation get you there? Nope. Will transformation get you there? You know that it will. Step 3, and here's the challenge for you. Taste and see. Whatever God is inviting you into, and no matter how nerve-wracking or scary that might be, I challenge you, take a bite and see. It might be a financial challenge. Maybe God is challenging you to be faithful with your income, and that's kind of scary. I challenge you, take a bite and see. Could be a serving challenge. Maybe he wants you to give him some of your talents, give him some of your time. Take a bite and see. Maybe it's a relational challenge. He's got a conversation that he wants you to have. Maybe he wants you to share some of who he is in your life with someone else, or heal a relationship. Take a bite. I challenge you. Don't turn back. Don't deviate. Taste and see. If God has brought you to this point now, he wants you to keep moving forward. So I challenge you at this stage of transformation, step out in faith and take a bite. Psalm 34:8 says, taste and see that the Lord is good. How blessed is the person who trusts in him. And remember, the Lord is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. I challenge you, come, taste and see that the Lord is good. Let him keep working in you. Let him keep changing you, and grab onto that transformation and take a step of faith. Hey, I'm looking forward to Sunday. Sunday, we're going to look at facing the fears that ruin relationships. It's going to be a good one. Hey, I love you all, Lakeway friends and family. See you on the weekend. Bye-bye.